Ladies and gentlemen, I finally have my hands on the Switch OLED, and this is just gonna be an unboxing and first impressions video. So we're gonna unbox it out here and then talk about everything else back in my studio. So let's get to it. No tape. That is interesting. So you're just right off the bat, you're immediately greeted with the console. Okay, comes out in this whole package. We'll look at all this in a second. Back here we have a HDMI cable. This looks like our power brick. And then what is this? Oh, it's the holder for the Joy-Cons for the controller. It actually feels a little bit better than the one that came with the normal Switch. So I'm definitely gonna do a comparison between these two consoles. And we also have the little bumpers for the individual Joy-Cons. That's cool. And then here is, I wanna be careful here. I don't wanna rip anything up too bad. Here is the dock. Ooh. Oh, there's a little cutaway for the cables this time too. I like this. Okay. 2 USBs, and then when you open it up, okay, I guess it just pops off. HDMI, Ethernet built in, and a USB-C. If I recall correctly, the normal Switch dock does not have Ethernet built in, so that's nice. So let's get all of this out of the way. And now let's unbox the console. So here's the console and the Joy-Cons. I mean, it feels like a phone. So we're gonna very carefully slide this out of its packaging. And there we go. That is the Switch OLED. Let's get the Joy-Cons out now. There's one. There's two. I'm not worried about any of that documentation. There is some documentation under here, but I don't need that. I'm trying to keep this box intact. And so let's go ahead and open up the Joy-Cons. Really easy unboxing experience. You don't have to go through any tape like at all. And they just slide on like so. There we go. And this is the Switch OLED. Let's power it on, and I'm actually gonna go grab my other Switch and see if my better Joy-Cons fit on this. I'm not sure if they will, but I'm gonna go see, so I will be right back. Okay, so while that did its thing, I went and grabbed my normal Switch, and as you can see, I have custom Joy-Cons, which I did a short on my channel about. And these Joy-Cons are just unbeatable because they actually like fit your hand. So I'm gonna see if these fit on the Switch OLED. So here's the comparison between the two of them, by the way. It looks like they're the same physical form factor. It's just the OLED fills out more of the screen. So I think I'll be in luck here with these things fitting. So let's just take these Joy-Cons off and pop these ones on. Oh yeah, they work. Now this is the ultimate Switch. Look at this, guys. All right, I'm gonna get this thing all set up and I will see you guys in the studio. All right, and we are here in the studio now. I have installed a couple games already and I'm in the process of installing more. Actually only one more. So I'm installing Assassin's Creed, the Rebel Collection. I've already installed Grand Theft Auto Vice City, Minecraft, Skyrim, Breath of the Wild, and Borderlands Game of the Year Edition. And I am going to be doing a follow-up video, actually 2 follow-up videos to this one. So I'm going to be doing a comparison between this and the normal Switch, and I'm going to be comparing the gameplay of Grand Theft Auto Vice City, Skyrim, and Breath of the Wild between those two consoles. And I'm going to be using this as my only gaming device for a week, just like the Xbox Series S videos that I did. And the only catch here is that I'm going to be only using this in handheld mode. So I'm not going to be using this docked because the docked experience is pretty much the same between the Switch and the Switch OLED. And I am going to be using these custom Joy-Cons, as I said earlier. If you're curious about them, I will have them linked down below. It just makes the act of holding the console
a lot better because these actually curve to a normal person's hands. So I don't know who designed the Joy-Cons, but they are impossible to hold. So I really recommend these custom Joy-Cons. And so let's just go ahead and talk about my first impressions of this device. So first of all, the screen is amazing. It gets so much brighter, it looks so much better, and it's just a decent size bigger. So as I said before, this is the same physical form factor. So it's the same footprint of the Switch. It's just that the OLED fills out more of the screen. And I actually really like that. And it's called the Switch OLED. So this is also an OLED panel as well. Now, unfortunately, the internals of this device are exactly the same, as you probably already know, as the normal Switch. So the only difference is that you get twice as much storage. So, but you won't go from only 32 gigs to only 64 gigs. So while they can advertise it as twice the storage, you still don't have enough to install a bunch of games. So I went ahead and popped in a micro SD card at the back, and to do that you actually have to open up the kickstand, and holy crap, this thing feels so good. Like, I thought I was gonna break it because there's like these mechanisms. If I open it a little bit more, right here and right here are super high quality. So good job, Nintendo, on the kickstand on the OLED. I've heard people talk about how much better it is, but like, you don't know until you actually get your hands on it, and it's better. And as I said before, the screen, the extra real estate is just absolutely amazing. Games look so much more immersive on this, but it is the same internals, so that is just overall unfortunate. Battery life seems to be good. I charged it a little bit while installing these games, and you're going to hear more about my thoughts of the battery life when I actually use this device for a week. I'm going to start a timer and just let a game run and just see how long it lasts. I'm just going to imagine it's like the higher demanding the game. So if I play Minecraft, the battery life will be longer than if I play Assassin's Creed Black Flag, right? That's just how handheld devices work. More power to run a game equals less battery, right? So if you're running a more demanding title, it uses more power, battery doesn't last as long. Overall, first impressions are very positive. I really like this thing. It looks amazing. The speakers sound better. In terms of I/O, you have your power button at the top, your volume rocker, you have a vent, and then you have a headphone jack. At the bottom, you have your USB-C for charging, and at the back, you have your kickstand with the micro SD card slot underneath, and then also at the top, you have your slot for your game cartridges. And that's pretty much all I have to say about this thing. This video is not going to be super long. The next one is going to be quite a bit longer. But first impressions, very good. Love the screen. Speakers sound better. It just looks crisp. It's unfortunately the same internals as the older Switch, which will hold this thing back. I will say, when I was going through the eShop to download the games that I've already purchased, the eShop is the clunkiest experience I've ever had in a shop on any console ever. I mean, the Nintendo DSi ran better than this. Like, look at how many times I press the down button and it's like stuck. I'm trying to go up now, but it's not doing it. It's stuck. Look at that delay. Oh, look, did you see that? That was several seconds. It's crazy. So the eShop is the clunkiest shop experience I have ever experienced on any console ever. The first impressions, with all of that aside, are this thing's nice. Now, my first impression on whether or not you should buy one if you already have a Switch is probably not. I kind of don't think this is worth the money if you already have a Switch, so maybe my opinion on that will change by the end of the week. But as it stands right now, if you already have a Switch, and this is my first impressions of the OLED, I don't think the OLED's worth it. You don't get that much more storage, and all you get is a bigger screen. So if you play in handheld mode all the time and that's all you do with your Switch, maybe. But if you only play with a Switch docked to a TV, there will be no difference. And I imagine if you play docked to the TV, you already have a couple games installed, and you already have a micro SD card. And if you already have a micro SD card, then the added storage isn't really going to affect you that much at all, because it's only 32 gigs more. But that is my overall first impressions of the Switch OLED. I think this thing is nice to pick up. If you don't have a Switch yet, I would definitely recommend this. If you already have a Switch, then maybe not. If you have a Switch Lite and you want to upgrade your Switch, I would get this. But if you have the standard red box Switch or gray Switch that's just been around for a long time, this just really isn't worth the upgrade from what I can tell on my first impressions. But thank you for watching the first impression video. I will have the follow-up video in about a week, and then I will do a video comparing the two, and then that will be my time with the Switch OLED. So thanks so much for watching this video. My name is Release Radar. I will see you guys on the follow-up videos, and until then, peace.